you guys? Today I'm gonna be teaching the Trooper solo by Iron Maiden. Let's check it out. This is the first little lick. You're gonna do a bend on the second string on the 15th fret. So you bend it twice. On the third one, you bend and release, and you do a pull off from 15 to 12. And then you do another bend on 15 on the second string. So you get 12 on the second string, and then you bend on 15 on the first string. So all together. Then you do a pull off from 15 to 12 on the first string. And then you do a pull off from 15 to 14 on the third string. And then from 14 to 12. So and you finish on 14 on the fourth string. So all together. And then you hit, on the fourth string, you hit 9, and you do a hammer on to 12 and a pull off. Then it goes into this little section right here. And you're bending on the 14th on the third string, and then a hammer on from 12 to 15 on the second string. So you do that 6 times, and then you do the same thing, but on the 12 and 15 on the second string, you pull off, hammer on, pull off. So you do that 3 times, and you do a hammer on the third string from 14 to 15, pull off, and pull off from 14 to 12. So, and you hit 14 twice on the third string, and you finish on 12. So all together, the last section, the little section right there is. Okay, the next section, it goes into this little lick right here. And what you're doing there on the second string, you're hitting 17, and then 15 on the first string, and you do a pull, and then 19, 15, 17, 15. So, and then you're hitting 17 on the second string, 15 on the first string again. So and you just repeat that. And then it goes into a bend on 19 on the first string. Five times. And then it goes into this little section right here with you're hitting 19, 20, 17, 19, all on the first, and then 20 on the second, 17 on the first, 20, 19, 17 on the second. So okay, and then it goes into this little section right here. And for that, you're doing a bend on 14 on the third string, 12, 12, 12 on the second, 12 on the first, bend on 15 on the second, 12 on the first, pull off from 15 to 12 on the second, bend on 14 on the third, release, pull off from 14 to 12, you finish on 14 on the fourth string. So the next section, it goes into this little lick right here. And what he's doing there is you start on the fifth fret first string, and you're hammering onto the 8th fret 4 times. You do the same thing on the second string. And you do a bend on 7, bend on 7, and you hit 6, 5 on the third string, and then 7 on the 4th string. So, and then 6, 5 again on the 3rd string, 7 on the 4th, 6, 5 on the 5th, and then you finish with 8, 5 on the 6th string. Okay, so okay, and then it goes into this little part here. And there, you're doing a hammer-on pull-off on from 5 to 7 on the 2nd string 3 times, and then you go to the 1st string and do the same thing. You repeat that twice, and then you do a bend on 10 on the 1st string, and then you hit 10, 10, 7 on the 1st string, so bend, 10, 7, bend 10 again, release, pull off from 10 to 7, and then bend 10 again. So, okay, and it works into this little lick right here. And there you're doing a hammer-on from 12 to 15 on the 1st string 3 times, hammer-on pull-off. And there's a little pause in between the first hammer-on pull-off, and then pauses, and then you do it 2 more times. Then you bend on 15, 15 on the 2nd string. Then you hit bend, and then 15, 13 on the 2nd string, and then a hammer-on pull-off from 12 to 13 on the 2nd string. And then you finish, so just, and you finish on 14 on the 3rd string. So the whole section is little pause. Okay, and then it goes into this lick. And you slide in on the 3rd string, 16th fret, slide in, hammer on from 15 to 17 on the 2nd string, hammer on pull off, and you hit 16 on the 3rd string, 15 on the 2nd string, and then you finish on 17 on the 3rd string. So, okay, for the next section, you hit 17 on the 3rd string, you do a bend on 19, bend, release, 17 again, so, and then you do a bend on the 20th fret on the 2nd string, bend, release, and then you hit 17 on the 17, and then you do the same thing on the 1st string on 20th fret, bend, and then 17, so, and then you do a bend on 20 on the 2nd string. So that whole section is like this. Okay, and then he goes on into this. Okay, so you're hitting the 17 on the 2nd string, you're bending on 20 on the 1st, and then you hit 20, 19, 17 on the 1st, so, and you bend on 20 on the 2nd, and you have to catch, when you bend 20 on the 2nd, you try to catch 20 on the 3rd string too on the way down when you're releasing it. So, okay, and then it goes into this. And there you're doing a bend on 19 on the 3rd string, bend, release, you hit 17 on the 3rd string twice, and you finish on 19 on the 4th string. So the whole section's like this.